Hey Hugo, how's it going? My mic working? Test test. Is my audio working? Hello.
Hey man, it's Murat.
Hey Murat, how's it going? This is Joe.
Not bad. It's going with everyone.
Hanging out.
Hey, cat herders. Good afternoon from London.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh man.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey Hudson.
Yeah,
Did anyone have trouble getting into this room?
No.
Okay, because it told me I had to end another meeting in order to start this one. So let me make sure that I didn't kick someone out of a meeting.
Okay. William, thanks for making some edits to the hard fork checklist. Much appreciated.
No problem.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to dig out the source for that. That's kind of why I didn't make that change yet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just looking around right now. I was seeing what was there and I saw it wasn't updated. So I just threw it into a search engine and put it together.
Really appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure.
And everybody's added as a contributor to the hard fork checklist. So if you see something that's not in there and want to add it, please feel free to do so. I'll leave a link in the chat window again.
Okay, I confirmed that their meeting is okay. When I opened Zoom, it said you have to close out of your other meeting to join this one. And I was like, what meeting am I in? And it like popped up that it was the F 2.0 call. And so I was like, oh no, did I kick Danny out of his call? Because they have that call at the same time every day, but it turned out it was fine. All right, let me check out this hard fork checklist. I was looking at it the other day. Cool.
Marat proposed in the cat herders that we changed the hard fork name from Constantinople to Istanbul, which I think is hilarious.
So
I didn't. No, to clarify, I was asking why we're changing the one after Constantinople from Istanbul to something new.
Oh,
But that's an interesting proposal too.
yeah, that's great.
Then I misunderstood. That's funny.
Yeah, I love that. I love that it could be called Istanbul because it's not Constantinople. All right. Let me check one more thing real quick. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Awesome. I think we can get started because it's about 8:07. So thanks everybody for coming. We're going to start with the blog release that Lane did. I thought that went really well, and thanks for everyone for contributing to that. I like the picture that we found. Who found that picture? Was it Brett or William?
Wasn't me.
Which picture?
The cat herding one from the
Oh,
blog.
that was me.
Oh, nice.
I thought it was pretty dramatic and funny.
Yeah. And what we should do, I think we talked about in the chat doing a more detailed photo of a more detailed, not photo, a more detailed blog post about what the cat herders are specifically, maybe like who's involved or things like that. So does anyone have any comments on that or like ideas?
I think it's a good idea. When you say the blog post, which blog post do you mean? Did I miss something?
Lane did a blog post where he briefly mentioned the cat herders as one of 3 points. The other 2 points being Afria's release manager and then get coin bounties for note taking.
Oh, I think I missed it.
No problem. And are you in? Is everyone in here in the chat room, either on Telegram or Gitter?
I'm in.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So I think that, yeah, we should do that blog post maybe in the next week or so. I can get that started and start writing some of that up, and then we can just kind of all contribute parts of it. Yeah, and I'm kind of trying to picture the goal of the post. Goal post. But basically, I think it needs to describe what the cat herders are, what our goals are so far, but also give an explanation that our role in the ecosystem is still forming. And it needs to describe kind of the team that's on it. Anybody else have ideas about how it should be organized?
Where are we planning on posting it once we do?
I think we have a Medium account, don't
Okay.
we?
It could also mention like the impact we hope to have on the development of Ethereum, like maybe structuring it more or clarifying it more or making all the stakeholders better aware or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Just to add a little idea, I think it'd be really great to kind of give a full introduction on what, the goal is, like Murat said, but also kind of what we're planning on doing right now and what we've already started, and then what we plan on to do after that and moving forward.
Mm-hmm. And we could talk about that today.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes, and I think maybe a good flow for the blog post would be starting up by stating who we are, meaning the cat herders, then why we think it makes sense, then explaining our goals, and while we explain our goals, we can also explain the kind of impact we would like to have. Then maybe we can explain what we do, like more broadly, and maybe finish by explaining in detail what we are working on right now. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good. That seems like a culmination of everything we just said, but in a good order.
And who's our target audience for this? Is this the core devs or community as a whole? Who will be writing this for?
I would say community as a whole. The core devs I can explain on the core dev call and answer any questions on there about what we do and how we can help and stuff and get some ideas. And that might be part of our future initiatives to do something like that. So that would probably work. Welcome, Offrey.
I am so sorry.
No problem.
Just on Twitter.
So we were just talking about, we haven't talked about much, but we just talked about doing a blog post on our Medium channel that describes who we are, what we're trying to accomplish, how our role is kind of forming, and a few other things. We have Hugo taking notes, and he's kind of written it all down. And I think that's kind of something we'll start to work on. Specifically, to end the post, probably thanking everyone for the feedback received so far, and for those who've outside of the cat herders have helped us with our documents and our checklist. So kind of making sure people know that we're not excluding the community from helping without saying that phrase. So yeah, I don't think there's much more to say on that. Did anyone else have anything? Okay, cool. Let's talk about what happened last week and how we kind of jumped into action, which I thought was really cool. So the Constantinople delay, of course, happened, and we had Charles step in and take notes during the emergency meeting that was held with about 50 people trying to decide if we were going to delay the fork or not. I think we had William coming in and doing some notes too at some point. I might be wrong, but I know there was a few other people who kind of jumped in.
Unfortunately, it wasn't me.
Oh, okay. Someone else came in and did some kind of notes or helped with the blog poster retrospective. I forgot who it was, but
I think he has the same last name. Schwab. I think it was something Schwab.
Oh, that might be what I'm thinking of.
Chris also set up a GitHub for everyone to put a retrospective notes in.
Yeah, I created an issue in the hard fork checklist repo that gathered a bit of attention and just kind of collated feedback and input from the community about how it had gone from their perspective and maybe things we could try for next time.
Yep. That's great. So what else, if anything, do we need to do to help that situation? What it sounds like is we have a hard fork checklist that we're kind of creating right now. We have feedback from an issue, and we have a post-mortem document that we've shared with other people in the community who helped out with the communications that day. So just to give everyone a background, what happened was whenever we found out about the Constantinople delay, we had the Gitter chat that was going crazy and a lot of people were commenting. And then Martin Holsvende, who's the lead of network security at the Ethereum Foundation, suggested we do a call. So I set up a Zoom call that about 50 people joined. Charles was in there taking notes and helping organize the communications group. So we almost kind of formed a single subgroup within that call with 50 people, where about 10 or 15 people from like Parity and Infura and MyCrypto and Parity and others joined to help create the blog post that was sent out that day across different organizations and the Ethereum Foundation. So that was really cool. And they wanted to help out with the post-mortem, so I sent them the link the other day so that they can help out. And then we'll after this meeting, or we can even in the Zoom chat here, just repost the link of that for anyone else who wants to jump in and help. And be sure to put your name on there so we can give you proper credit if you help out. So that's kind of the biggest thing that we're working on right now that we want to release sooner rather than later. In fact, I'd love to release it tomorrow if we could. Or when I say release, have a permanent home for it, whether it be the Cat Herders repo or somewhere else. And I kind of want ideas on where's the best place to release that. It can be, I'm almost thinking the Cat Herders repo so that we can have like a folder with like different postmortems and summaries of events that happen, mostly hard fork related events, but maybe other emergency issues or things in the ecosystem that come up that we help with. What do you all think of having a folder in there, or should it be a Medium post? What do you all think?
Again, you're talking about the postmortem?
Yeah, exactly, the postmortem.
I mean, I definitely think that you're right that there should be sort of just a running history in a folder in the GitHub, but it'd probably also be good to post it as a Medium. No, I mean, you could really just take the exact same document and post it on Medium also.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So yeah, we'll do something like that, and it gives people a really neat insight into what happened that day as well. But we don't want to do it more than a week after. So yeah, I'll help get that kind of spruced up today, and we'll get it up no later than tomorrow or Thursday. Any other comments on that?
Maybe just an idea here, but maybe it would be interesting to somehow link the post-mortem Medium post with some info about what's coming next. I'm not saying in the exact same post, but maybe finishing the post with a link to maybe another post or whatever for people to understand what's going to happen next. I don't know. What do you think about that?
That would be a good place to introduce the hard fork checklist. I think you're right. And Charles, did you have a comment? Oh, you just muted if you did.
Sorry, yeah, you
problem.
cut out right before. I just heard the end of that. Could you repeat it?
Oh, sure. I said the hard fork checklist would be a good thing to introduce. Would be a good thing to introduce at the end of the post-mortem Medium post that we do.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. Yeah, having something for the future to reference. In a way, the post-mortem is also a bit of a checklist as well, but more for the emergency side, I suppose.
Yeah, we can extrapolate that into a whole nother list if we want to.
Yeah, sounds good.
I just feel like many people might go on to read the post-mortem document, also trying to get some clues about what's next. So just making sure that those people, get all the info they need.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hugo, just to clarify, are you talking about what's going to be happening next with Constantinople 2, or what's happening next, as in the next steps with regards to a hard fork?
I'm talking about Constantinople 2, so what's going to happen in February, I think it's the date, right?
So just giving the dates and the block numbers and saying this is when we're expecting, and just re-clarifying, I guess, almost like a end of post-mortem. This is what's happened in the post-mortem, and this is these are the next steps going forward.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Great. Anyone else have stuff on that? That can be a document that I can start today, and we can contribute to once I clean up the post-mortem. Okay, I'll try to do that.
If you share a link, I'm happy to help with that.
Okay, great. I'll try to do that either after this call or at the latest afternoon my time. I have a few things to do this morning. Let's see. If there's nothing else on that, I can move on to the next thing. And actually, what is the next thing? Oh, Offrey, did you need help with anything in particular related to hard fork guidance, any kind of thing that the cat herders can help with?
Yeah, there are a lot of things we need to work on. So something I noticed recently is that nobody really maintains the EIPs. So people were complaining that the EIPs that went live on Robston last year are still in draft state on the EIPs repository. So it would be nice if we had someone who can keep track of proposals that are being actively discussed, or eventually bump authors of the proposals to check the status of to update the status. This is one thing that comes to my mind. And then after the dust settles a bit from this Constantinople mess, we can start collecting all our learnings and start working on this actual hard fork process document we initially talked about. And what else is there? Yeah, right now I would just stick to having a good postmortem, showing we are actively working and contributing, and actively following the next hard fork, and supporting everyone who needs support. What do you think?
I think that's great.
Yeah, I mean, once the postmortem's up, I'd be more than happy to help with EIP monitoring if that's useful for you, Afri, or we could figure out some sort of system with a bunch of us rotating, or that's a good idea.
Sounds like a subcommittee there.
Yeah, Alfred, do you want to lead that subcommittee and kind of grab some people from the chat?
For the EIPs?
Yeah, for the EIPs initiative, for kind of keeping up with them and making sure they're out of draft and stuff. And it doesn't have to be anything you do immediately, but whenever you want to get some people to start that, you can grab them.
Yes, I will definitely do that. Once we start talking about the next hard fork after Constantinople, we will discuss EIP anyways, and then I will just get back to the cat herders, and so we can help maintaining lists of EIPs that are discussed, that are eventually accepted, and then we can help tracking the progress. And that sounds good.
Is there anything we can do straight away, like to be involved in the process from now?
I mean, if you have some spare time and you are in general a more technical person, or have an idea what could be, I don't know if it makes sense, but in general, it's a good idea to have an overview of draft EIPs. And I know it's a lot to ask because there are many out there. I don't know if we can stick to this process forever. So how it was so far is whenever someone wants to have an EIP added to Ethereum, so getting it accepted by the core developers, it needs to go, you have to champion it, you have to put it on the core devs call agenda, and to get this accepted by this call. And I think one thing we could do is helping people that write EIPs to lower the barriers for them to enter these EIPs into this complicated process of getting reviewed and accepted.
Yeah, I'd be really interested in documenting out what this process is, not too heavy, but just to give some people some guidance about what the steps are. Is that written down somewhere anywhere at the moment?
Well, we only have this EIP1 document, if you are familiar with this, which outlines the process of an EIP.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But so what I often see in the community is that people say, oh, now we are forking, now Constantinople didn't have EIP XYZ. I don't know, I'm coming up with some number I'm not aware of. So the problem here is that people want to see some EIPs, but they don't actively engage in adding this to the agenda. And I think this is something where we can help with. So if you are interested you should read EIP1, which outlines the process for the different types of EIPs. And I think one thing where we can contribute really good to this ecosystem is that we assist people with proposals to educate them how to go on, or maybe even helping them out in this process.
Yeah, and just a few comments on that. EIP1 is really messy. It's not super clear sometimes how things should proceed or how things get into certain states. So eventually it might be a cool thing if we clean up EIP1. We don't want to be doing too many things at once, obviously, but as you're looking at EIP1, just keep in mind that there might need to be some corrections, and you can kind of take mental notes on that. And the other thing, there is a bot. It's an EIP bot. And what happens is, as long as your draft post is formatted a certain way, it gets added to the repository. And if it's not formatted the correct way, like with the right header file, or when I say header file, I mean heading information, like name, date, place where you can discuss it and stuff like that, then it goes and the PR, it has the error message pop up saying you need to fix this. And it's Nick Johnson's creation, but it's not documented. So eventually, if we could document that, I think that'd be a really cool idea and help us improve the bot to make it a little more efficient.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Can I add something here?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was also thinking that maybe not now, but as soon as we have the website, that could be a really good place in helping people understand what AIPs are being discussed for the next network upgrade, and um, like kind of having this place where people can go and see uh, what's being included, what's not, what's being discussed. So it's an easier way of keeping track of what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's great. There's also something called last call. At the end of an ERC, which is a certain type of ERP or a certain type of EIP that's a community standard like token standards and stuff, there's something called last call where there's a 2-week period of final discussion before the EIP is transferred to a final status. So that process, I believe, has an RSS feed. So if maybe we could host that RSS feed eventually, that might be a good use of our web resources.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we have a lot of stuff that we can do with EIPs that we might include in the blog, in the post-mortem, or in our intro blog post, which it's going to be a little weird because we're probably going to publish the post-mortem before we publish our intro to the cat herders, but I don't think that's a huge deal.
No, I don't think it's a huge deal too
Yeah, it
much
should be
either.
We can also just say that the blog post will be coming, the post-mortem, just brief mention. So
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
If I could just drag this back for a second, on the Ethereum Foundation's website, they have something that they have like sort of an aggregation to the RSS. Is that what you were talking about, Hudson?
No, this is a different RSS feed, and I actually haven't seen it. I've just heard about it. But it collects. It's not on the Ethereum Foundation website that I remember. You know what? You know what? As I'm saying this, it might be. I need to dig for the link, but I didn't think it was.
I'll throw the link that I'm looking at right now into chat.
Okay. Let's let's see what that is. But you might be right. And it just covers the.
Oh, whoops! Sorry, I formatted that wrong.
EIPs.Ethereum.
Yeah.
Okay, that is. Oh, this actually might be it. I don't know if it's an RSS feed, but let's see.
Oh, wait, it links to it on the top, it looks like.
Yep.
Oh, it does. Cool.
Nice work.
Yeah, thanks to Nick Johnson. So we could improve on that and make it like graphical eventually, or like a little prettier, I should say. So that would help.
Cool.
Let's see what the next thing is. Do we have a logo, or was someone working on that?
I was poking at it. I haven't really got started. We just discussed it on Thursday. And so, yeah.
Yeah, you probably have your hands full with the F222 meeting.
Yeah, but I definitely can squeeze it in between then and my commits.
Cool. I unfortunately can't make that meeting, but it sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. At 222, we're doing an ETH 2.0 workshop after the Stanford conference. Just the location to be determined, but likely we'll wind up either at Stanford or the consensus offices in San Francisco.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm trying to think what else is on the agenda for today. I think we covered a lot of
the
stuff.
website.
Oh, the website. Yeah. Who bought the domain?
I have the domain, but so Hugo put up some stuff. I'm gonna try to share my screen to see. So it's pretty basic so far. We still need to fill in some of the details. We wanted to get more ideas on the design kind of vision of it. So I'm just trying to switch to my computer so I can screen share it. 1 second. Okay.
Okay, I can see it.
So this was yeah, so this is the general site, and we thought it'd be funny to add like clickable things, but pictures of cats on it, like this.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah. In terms of the content, there's the kind of about section that would also, we could link to our Medium post about it. And there's upcoming hard fork info, upcoming resources, and then all of our social stuff. But what else do you think is crucial to have?
I think maybe a section that, or maybe even just, because this is a one-pager, maybe square images of who the cat herders are, I think would be kind of cool.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's good. Smiley face. Or no, there's a little kitty. It would be cool to, what am I trying to say? Yeah, to just give everybody recognition who's working on this stuff.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Anybody else? Hugo, do you want to speak to this?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I would like to create this, just a Google Doc or something like that, so that we can all share the links that we would need to display on the website, both on the next hard fork section and also the resources section. So all of the info you think would be great to have on one single place. I would really appreciate it if you can help me with that, and I'll just work on how to display that info on the website.
Yeah, if you could share that document, we can help out with that.
Okay, I will. Thanks.
And what I'm going to do today, just FYI, I'm releasing a video of this chat for the people who missed it. So if they listen to it, they can kind of get in the loop on stuff. So that'll be good.
Just one question about the website. Is there anything that we want, like calls to action for people to participate? Like if someone looks at this website, what do we want them to do?
Yeah, I would say that it would be to tell them what the Ethereum cat herders are trying to do for Ethereum, what we're currently working on, how to get involved. That's a good point. And just general resources that they can check out if they're curious.
I would say that the main goal should be to have the website as a place where people can, where people go to get informed. And so the main goal is to have the community informed about the upcoming changes. And in at the end of the website, at the bottom where we share the link, maybe we can insert there some sort of call to action for people to get involved. And so we have links to our Twitter channel and many other resources, so we can point people in the right direction if they want to contribute. But first and foremost, I think we should display the right info, and the main goal should be to inform. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that works, Hugo.
Oh, did everyone see what Offrey posted this morning about the hard fork naming on EthTrader?
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, I'm just checking it out right now, which is why there was a little bit of silence.
Yeah, I wanted to bring this up. Just waiting for the call agenda to finish.
Yeah, I think there's nothing else, so feel free to bring it up.
Yeah, so I had this idea last week because I was spending 1 or 2 weeks intensively on EastTrader because I tried to understand how this donuts thing work, and I remember that the moderators once discussed having like some ERC20 token as like some kind of reward. And apparently this donuts is like a Reddit-wide experiment that's unique for EastTrader. So you can have specific karma for the specific subreddit is rewarded with these donuts. And these donuts are like a tool to, you can buy badges, you can buy the banner of the top of the size, and you can do a lot of cool things. And one of the cool features is that you can have governance polls. So basically on your donuts stake, so the amount of your contributions is used to make decisions on like things that happen on the subreddit. This is a very interesting thing. Like, I mean, it's some kind of toy feature, and it's a bit funny, but it's also something I really appreciate to have, and I want to test it out. And I had this idea because this community seems so healthy and amazing that we allow them to get involved with hard fork planning, and I was coming up with this idea to give them the chance to decide on hard fork names for the future, because I'm not entirely sure Istanbul is a good choice for the next hard fork. And also it looks like when we have regular hard forks in future, we just need to come up with something new beyond Byzantium and Constantinople. And this is why I sat down this morning and drafted this challenge post. And we have a lot of submissions already, I see.
Yeah, there's a few good ones, and there's some real bad ones. Cool. Do anyone else have any other comments or agenda items or anything like that? I've run out of ideas.
Yeah, there actually was something I wanted to discuss. When the non-hard fork happened last week, so I sort of like, for me, Tuesday morning, I woke up and I saw like, all of a sudden like social media had gone crazy and everything because everything was delayed. I wasn't 100% sure what to do next. Now I had this like total brain freeze and I totally forgot about the Gitter. I think some of the information was in the Gitter/Telegram channel. But when something like of an emergency type nature happens, how should we organize? Like, how can we figure out what to do and like how to do it?
That's a really good question. The number one answer is going to be go to the All Core Devs chat and see what's happening there. Pretty much every emergency that I can think of that's network related would be conveyed there, unless it's an attack that has not been basically, if there is a threat to the network that is a vulnerability that can be actively exploited, or there is an ongoing heist of like major value or things. So for instance, if there was discovered to be a bug in the DAI contract, which is the like Maker DAI, the really contract with a lot of ether, then we would probably have a secret room to discuss it, meaning some of the core devs, like just a group of like 20 to 30 core devs from across in like security professionals and stuff, to notify Maker and get them to patch it before other people find out about the vulnerability. And then it would eventually be posted in all core devs. As far as where we should go, maybe the cat herders would use the cat herders Telegram /Gitter, the private one, to coordinate ourselves, and then from there figure out the best places to look at stuff. Because for right now, it's a little bit decentralized where things are discussed, and I kind of like it that way when it comes to emergencies, so that it's not like we have total control over that, I guess. Like, we want to make sure that we still have this goal to strive for decentralization as much as possible. So we don't want to do too many things at once to organize stuff, I think.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, so I guess what we're saying is that anytime there's anything sort of specific going on, and it might be something sort of like all hands on deck, everybody should just check the Gitter Telegram. And that's also, exactly. Anyone who knows anything should probably post there to see who's around, who's able to do stuff.
Yep, exactly. So that's a good point, though. Yeah, so we've kind of decided that now. Who else has any other final agenda comments, stuff like that?
Well, what exactly do we want done before our next call for all of us? I know the post-mortem for sure, and then draft that article for the introduction of us, and then Offrey can start reaching out to us, whoever else is technical on helping with the EIP monitoring. And then is there anything else that we want to kind of put into action before then?
When should we get the website up?
I mean, as soon as possible is probably the right answer, but realistically, Hugo and I will try to get it done this week, I guess, and then we'll get your feedback, everyone's feedback.
Yeah, I think as soon as we get a good list of resources and links to share, I think even if it's going to be super simple, we'll be almost ready to go. So maybe next week we can share with you whatever we have, and like kind of have a final check, and if everything is okay, maybe we can just deploy it, even if it's like super simple version of it. But again, for that we need to have this list of resources and info that we want to share. If not, we'll just look empty.
Okay, so Hugo's going to share the resources document that we're going to add links to so they can be put on the site. And then what do you need from us to have a team or a what is it? Like a team section or a cat herder squad or something that shows maybe like a square small image of each person, and when you mouse over it gives the name or something?
I mean, I would only need the pictures. I've never done anything like that, but I will figure out how to do it. If I'm not able to do it this week, I will be able to do it next one. So
yeah, that's fine.
Maybe share pictures with me, and I'll just find a way to do it.
Okay, sounds good. I'll just tell everyone to get a square high-res picture of themselves or of an icon they want to display if they want to not have their picture shown, if they want to be on the site.
Cool.
Sounds good. And yeah, that sounds good to me. Let me see real quick if there's anything else. So we got website, we got post-mortem, we got blog post that talks about the cat herders, and we have Offrey's subcommittee. I think that's it.
Cool. And regarding the blog post, the cat herders blog post, who's going to lead on that?
Well, I'm happy to take the lead if anyone else is.
Yeah, do you want to draft up a Google Doc and put in the chat with kind of a general idea? Yeah, sweet.
Sounds
awesome,
good.
Brett. Thanks. All right, I'm typing this down real quick. Let me just repeat it just because I'm going to forget all this anyway if I don't write it down. So we have Cat Herders blog post introducing ourselves. We have post-mortem blog and GitHub location for permanence. And I can kind of help with that a little bit. I think that was my action item, was to clean up the post-mortem blog. And then we have Google Doc with links for Hugo. Send an image of yourself, and then Offrey's subcommittee.
Oh, I just thought of something also, if I can throw it in.
Yeah, sure.
We started drawing up a document before about all the different people who need to be contacted before a hard fork. Does that need like updating or any work or anything added to it? Like, is there anything to do with that right now?
I think that we don't need that to be public, but we do need to clean it up for the next time there's a fork.
Yeah, I meant internally.
Oh, internally. Perfect. Yeah. And for that one, we could make just a new tab in the spreadsheet and just copy and paste all of the info, but just clear out the yes, no, maybe section for if they've been contacted. So that won't be too hard to do. That's just copy paste.
Okay, I could do that.
Right. Awesome.
And is that the latest one? Because I know during the non-fork or the pullback delay, Taylor was running with a more up-to-date spreadsheet.
Yes. I think I posted it in chat. If not, if someone needs the link, just let me know. But there is one that is updated and only shared with like 30 people or 20 people. So
I'm
me or
not
Charles.
sure I've seen it. It's in the Gitter chat, the link.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look for it.
Cool.
Yeah, if you don't find it, just feel free to reach out to me or Charles. We should have it.
All right, great.
Cool. Was there anything else?
Maybe we can already set the date for the next call.
What was that again?
Just set the date for the next call.
That's going to be an Offrey thing, and he can get people involved if he needs to get people involved in that.
Sorry, Hudson. He was saying next date for the next call.
Oh, I thought he said next date for the hard fork. No, the next date for the call.
I'm sorry for that.
No problem. What about 2 weeks from now? Is that okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Works for me.
We should have pretty much everything on this done in 2 weeks. Oh, and one more thing.
Yeah.
Do we want to release the website before we release the introduction blog post?
Yeah, I think that's probably best.
Ideally, yes, but I'm not sure if we can commit to that, just in case. But we will try.
If it's done within the next 2 weeks, mate, I don't think that's a big drama.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to rush it, so don't worry about getting it out like tomorrow or anything, because the introduction blog post can go out weeks from now.
And presumably we can also like put out an MVP website and iterate on that as well.
Yeah, it's already just about good enough to put out. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we just need to add in the people and then links and kind of hyperlinks.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll work on it with you, Hugo.
Cool.
And how do we get, just thinking about an agenda for the next meeting? So it kind of felt like this meeting, Hudson had an agenda written down in front of him, but I guess if...
Oh, no, I didn't. It was all on my noggin.
Yeah, I think it's worthwhile to have an agenda item similar to core devs, where we have just a kit up area where we can add to the agenda.
Cool. Yeah, it just helps me to kind of know what to have in my mind ahead of the meeting so that we can be more kind of prepared.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Guys, may I suggest having a calendar, maybe like a Google Calendar, and we could all add events or things to it and, jot down notes or put down the agenda for something, and it would automatically show up in all of our calendars.
That's a good idea. I don't know how to do that, though.
I can do it, but I'll get started and let you guys know.
Yeah, Google Drive would also be kind of cool if we had all our files in there, but that's kind of could be a little extra. I don't know.
Yeah, let's do that later, but let's do the
agree.
calendar now.
Sure.
All right, cool.
or GitHub issue. Okay, so we'll need an agenda, Google Doc, or GitHub issue. And if someone wants to do that, that's fine. Otherwise, I'll do it. That's not a huge task.
I'll do that.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Chris. All right, I think we're done, and we even are 5 minutes early. Did anyone else have anything?
Hugo, is it your Proton mail email that we're sending the pic to?
Yeah, send it there.
All right, cool.
Out of interest, did anyone secure the Twitter handle?
Oh, someone I thought did.
Lane might have. I'm just not sure. I know certainly when you look for it, it's not there.
Let's ask Lane.
Cool.
Did you secure the Twitter handle for cat herders? Okay, sounds good. Thanks, everybody. I'll post this recording, and I'll post the action items in the chat. And whenever we get the agenda issue up, we can put the to-do items in the agenda issue.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye, guys. Have a good day.
Bye.